I might be able to name that to portions of that team. So let's see here. It's not just Oberfeld being the third baseman, although I thought Bob Horner was the third baseman.
First baseman, Bob Horner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Horner corner. Yeah, but that's what they said. There are probably 15 names here that will tickle you in a delightful way.
Hold on. Let me see how much of this team that I can name, because I'm going to mix up eras here. Glenn Hubbard was the second baseman.
Yep.
Wow, look at you. Hubby.
Was Murphy playing center field or was he playing first base?
Center field.
Okay. And Claudel Washington was out there somewhere.
Right field.
Gary Matthews was in left field, right? Or was it someone
Gary Matthews was gone by then.
Gary Matthews was gone. So let me see. So this is the 85 Braves. I got no chance, right? It's like an era. It's I got like 7 years here. Let me think here.
Mm-hmm.
So the shortstops for the Braves in the 90s were Blauser, and let's see here. Who was the shortstop for that 85 Braves team? It was a Latin guy, wasn't it?
Yes.
Hold on a second.
I mean, you definitely know him.
Hold on a second, though. It was a Latin guy, and I'm not.
I don't feel like you ever flex your sports knowledge like this. I'm very much enjoying like this
It's
used
not
to be
sports knowledge. It's just it's my childhood.
Trivia. Right, exactly.
It's like one of the first teams that and they were terrible. But it was like one of my first times that I was interested in sports.
I will tell you, the catcher is going to blow his mind.
Well, no, but it's not Bruce Benedict.
He was the backup catcher.
Okay, so Bruce Benedict was the backup catcher, and
they're more like split duty more than like.
I thought Bruce Benedict was the starter, and it's not Charlie O'Brien. Was the Charlie O'Brien was later? Let's think here. Hold on a second. I can get the backup catcher for the Braves.
I don't think you can.
No,
no.
Well, hold on. Let me see how much of the pitching staff I can do. Was Rick Camp on the pitching staff?
He was a reliever. Yes.
Nice.
Let me see how much of the pitching staff I can do.
Started twice, but made 64 appearances.
Doyle Alexander was not on one of those teams, correct?
Earlier.
Well, they were bad teams, right? So the pitchers would be so forgettable.
There was one guy who had a record of 1-13.
Forgettable, but not forgetable, Dan. I mean, these names, you know these names.
Okay, but Pascual Perez isn't on one of those teams.
113. He had an ERA of 6.14, and he still pitched 95 innings.
That guy was a flamethrower. I mean,
Really?
right down the middle. Yeah,
Yes?
but it was hard. Yep.
There's a Pat Zachary there, right?
Oh, wow. He was a Met, too.
He was also a Met, but I thought Pat Zachary not on that team? There's a bearded guy. One of these pitchers is a bearded guy.
Gene Garber.
That's a reliever, right? That was was that their closer? Or was Al Roboski their closer?
Well, Bruce Sutter was the closer. He got 23 saves.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I pulled up this specific team. Yeah,
because Al Roboski would have been right before that. They probably needed Sutter because Roboski was so bad. He was arguing with the baseball behind the mound. He was. That was his shtick. Yeah, his shtick.
Yes.
He was the mad Hungarian, and he would like yell at the baseball. It was such a great shtick.
What a terrible staff.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
66
Hold
and
on.
96
Let me
team.
think for a second here.
The only pitcher with an above 500 record. 266 innings this guy threw.
Now Don Sutton was late in his career on one of these teams. Wasn't a Necro on one of these teams too? Wasn't Phil Necro a part of one of these?
Yeah, but I think 85's too late for those guys.
Yeah.
I think Sutton was done by then.
Do you want me to just read off the rotation?
No, I want to keep.
Okay.
I want to figure out who the shortstop is because you know what's happening
Latin
here.
guy.
I'm getting stuck on like the Mets shortstops of Akendo and Rafael Santana when I think of shortstops from that age. A Latin shortstop that was the double play combination. It was Horner. It was Hubbard. I still haven't named the first baseman on this team.
Well, Horner was the first baseman.
Oh, so okay, they moved Horner from third.
So Horner first, Hubbard second, Oberkfeld in third.
Okay, so Oberkfeld was on third. Okay. Right. And Bruce Benedict, who the fuck was the backup catcher on that team?
You're never going to get it. Because when you think of this guy, you think of another team. You do not think of the Atlanta Braves. You don't. You think of a different team.
It wasn't like it was like a square guy, wasn't it?
It was an American League catcher for many years.
Was it Lance Parrish? Was there?
I'm going to give you the name.
All right, I'm gonna know. Let's see.
Oh, you're going to know.
Go ahead.
Rick Cerrone.
Oh, I wouldn't have remembered that. I think of him as a Yankee. Yeah, I wouldn't have remembered that he was the catcher on that team.
Rick Cerrone.
Rick fucking Cerrone. What a stiff.
What a great stash.
He was handsome and he like dominated New York by being the Mets backup catcher. Oh, give me 5 minutes of this. Whittingham's never seen the side. I understand that Jessica's got no time for any of this. baseball from 25 years
But
ago.
like the internet has killed what we're doing right now, which is
25 years ago.
No, this is 35 years ago.
Come on, man.
Maybe closer to 40. But it's more like there is no like. Do you think kids now will ever go, "Oh man, the 2018 Pittsburgh Pirates. Let me name you their starting lineup."
Nope.
God no, because they sucked ass.
But so did these Braves.
Right, we're
Braves.
talking about a team that finished 66 and 96.
I didn't even know that.
It was just like, I think trivia.
Like, yeah, the Braves, they won some shit in the 90s,
Trivia
right?
is sort of killed by the ability to baseball reference anything. Like, I could have had this conversation with you because I have an internet browser in front of me. Like, just knowing things for the sake of knowing them, I think is going to be a lost art. That's why I enjoy this so much.
There was some comedian, I'm going to botch the joke, but there is a great joke setup of a parent who thought that their child wouldn't have useful skills, so went to an addict, and this is a comedian's routine, and showed a bunch of encyclopedias to a child who has never had to look up anything that way. And I don't know the details of the story, but it's a great story on the child initially going to do what she thought was the right thing, but then was doing it the way you would do it on the internet, and it's not the right thing.
Yeah, there's a similar story that happened during the Euros where Jack Grealish, who plays for England, was called by his club team a footballing encyclopedia. And so it's presented to him, "Hey, Jack, your manager called you a footballing encyclopedia." And he goes, "What does that mean?"
Doesn't even know.
He had no context for the reference. Never mind even what an encyclopedia was.
So good.
Rafael Ramirez.
Oh, fuck me. I know. It's right. That's where I got stuck on Rafael.
Santana.
Rafael Santana is where I got stuck. Yeah, that's gone. It's
Craig McMurtry.
As irrelevant as those teams.
Might be gone for the best, Stan.
Yeah, I don't think it's good content.
It's great.
I don't think we should spend a lot of time with Whittingham tickling me.
Rick Mailer.
Tickling my 80s. I'll sit here and talk about, that's the fucking guy in the facial hair I was thinking of. Rick Mailer. That fucking pitcher.
You're back.
What a turd that guy was. Mailer was who was the fat tub of goo? Letterman got into a fight with Terry Forster, I think was his name, because he kept going on national television and calling a pitcher, like a fat guy who pitched for the Braves or the Dodgers, a fat tub of goo, and did it for like months. Like, I had him on the show.
Terry Foster took issue.
He just was on television calling him a fat tub of goo every night for months.
This is what it sounds like when we talk MLS.
I'm not doing show. Is this on the air?